uh, story of Hanuman. And the reason I have been inspired to share about Hanuman is because today happens to be the appearance day of Ram, Ramachandra. So today is his birthday, and it's considered to be a very, very auspicious day. And whenever I think of Ram, I think of Hanuman. And whenever I think of Hanuman, I think of Ram. They are inseparable two beings. So it's nice to get to know a little bit more about these two great personalities and the deep bond that they share. And and Hanuman is one of the characters in the world that we know, very popular for doing a lot of incredible, superhuman, mystical things. So he's considered to be the original superhero. Now you have Superman, Batman, Iron Man. What other man do you have? Oh, they also have Superwoman too, right? So these characters, the super incredible characters, the original OG, Hanuman was the person, and it's so cool when we get to hear more and more about him and some of the incredible things that he has done. And we'll also find out why his name is Hanuman. And how cool is this Hanuman? I worship him every day on my altar because he represents unconditional loving service. Unconditional. And so, because sorry, my pollen allergies are getting to me, so you have to bear with me a little bit. So, I worship him because I would like to imbibe that mood that he carries with him of simplicity, innocence, and just unconditional service. So there is this great book called the Ramayana, which is stories of Lord Ram, and incredible, incredible book. And those of you who haven't read it, I recommend you to read it. You get to see what superhuman qualities of Ram and Hanuman and all the incredible characters. So I want to start with this one Sanskrit text. Is from this special prayer to Lord Ram, who is also known as the protector because he was a great king. So I'll just read the Sanskrit once and then I'll tell you stories of Hanuman. So Bharjanam Bhava Bijanam, Arjanam Sukha Sampadam, Tharjanam Yamadutanam, Rama Rameti Garjanam. So this is a very interesting verse that explains that those who chant the name Rama, when you chant the name Rama, you get incredible numbers of spiritual benefits, the sound vibration and the power that comes with the word Rama. There is many, many dissertations written by sages about these two words, Ra and Ma, which I will not get into it because I want to tell you a story. But there's books written on these two words, Ra and Ma. So, Rama Rameti Garjanam, those who roar with the name of Rama or sing the name of Rama, just Rama, 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 Rama. Then three things happen. The first thing that happens is that the seed of material life, bija, the seed of material life, is roasted. It gets roasted. That means all your material life that you encounter in your day-to-day operations they are burnt to ashes. That means you'll be freed from material life. This is a poetic way of saying it, that you'll be free from material life. Material life meaning repeated birth, death, old age, and disease. This is what the cycle of material life means. With getting more and more possessions, with the hope of enjoying and trying to fulfill those desires. This is material life. And the second quality that you derive from this Rama Rameti Garjanam is that you will always have prosperity in life. Because Rama means wealth. Wealth as in wealth inside and wealth outside. So that is another deep benefit of chanting the name Rama. And the third one is that Yamadutas, the messengers of Yama. Yama means, we know Yama Niyama from Patanjali Yoga. So Yama means someone who upholds the rules. And that is, we also consider him the god of death, Yamaraj, the king of rules. And so his messengers who come to take the soul at the end of life, then when you chant the name Rama, then they stay they say 14-mile radius of you, they will not come. So if Yamadutas don't come, then what happens? The Vishnudutas come, the angelic messengers from the Vaikuntha spiritual realms, they come and take your soul and take you back home. So in other words, Rama, if you just keep chanting Rama, that means you'll attain the highest realm of spiritual existence or enlightenment or union with God or deep spiritual realizations. So this is why this day will be celebrated by billions of people all around the world. And they will all be chanting Ram, 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 and doing beautiful kirtans of Ram. Because in that name of Ram, there's the power of liberation, the power of attaining spiritual world, the power of prosperity, the power of anything you could possibly want in life beyond your imagination. This name of Rama can take you there. It can carry the soul in its wings to the spiritual world. This is why Ram Navami, the birthday of Lord Ram, is celebrated with a lot of kirtans. So in Atlanta, we're going to be singing for 2 days, today and tomorrow. A lot of kirtans. Every opportunity we get to sing Ram, 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 we are there. So now I want to share a small story of Hanumanji. Why Hanuman is such an important character in this spiritual life and the original superhero. So as you know, Hanuman is the people know him as the monkey god. And it's super cool. People love him, people worship him. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I remember someone sent me a video that a friend of Obama gave him a little statue of Hanuman when he was in Indonesia. And he would carry that little statue of Hanuman. And he told him that if you carry this Hanuman with you, wherever you go, whatever you do, you'll be successful. That's what Hanuman represents. And I remember at an interview, he was showing this little things that he carries in his pocket. So, Hanuman. Hanuman lived in a place, current day, known in India, in a place called Hampi or Kiskinda. Kiskinda is the name of the mountain. Hampi is the name of the town. So his mother, Hanuman's mother, her name was Anjana, and Hanuman's father's name is Keshri. You don't have to remember these names, but just if you want, you can have these names. So Anjana and Kesri, a busy, busy monkey family. So Anjana was tending to Hanuman, little baby Hanuman, and she had to go do something. And she left little baby Hanuman in the cave alone. Should you ever leave a baby monkey alone? We don't know. We'll find out right now what happens. So little baby Hanuman, little baby monkey, he comes out of the cave and he remembers, oh, my mother told me that whenever I'm hungry, I should eat red fruits. It is very common that mothers teach their children what to eat and what not to eat. The monkey mothers also teach the little baby monkeys what to eat and what not to eat. So Anjana had told Hanuman that whenever you see something red, that means it's a fruit and it's ripe. And you should eat ripe fruits. That's what you should eat. So Hanuman came out of his cave and he's so excited. You know, he has his freedom and he's hungry. Little babies are always hungry. So Hanuman is super hungry and he's thinking of his mother's advice on what to eat and what not to eat. So what does he do? He jumps up into the sky because he could see the sun rising and it looked like an orange. So he thought, what? That's my food right there. So he jumps up and he goes and reaches for this for the sun god, for the sun. And when he reaches for the sun god, then what's happening is that sun god is freaked out. He's like, who is this person? And as Hanuman gets closer, he notices there is another person, this black circular person, is also trying to eat the sun. And that's Rahu, you know, they call them the shadow planet. In Sanskrit, is called Rahu, the shadow planet. So Hanuman first grabs the shadow planet Rahu and he puts it in his mouth and holds it in his mouth. And then he sees the sun and he grabs the sun and puts it in his mouth. So now, of course, we'll have a lot of questions about all of these things later on. First, I'll just tell you the story. So imagine the sun is in the mouth of Hanuman and Rahu is also in the mouth of Hanuman. What happens? The world becomes dark. Has anyone ever seen a solar eclipse? Yeah, things get dark. But can you imagine if the sun fully disappears? Then, it's really dark. So the whole world became extremely dark and no one could see anything. At that time, the demigods in the heavenly planets, they were thinking, oh my God, what to do now? What is going on? And they all approached King Indra. Indra is the presiding king of the heavenly planets. And he rides on a white elephant. And whenever they have demigods have any problems, they go to him because he's the leader. So they go to him, and what does he do? He's like, okay, I'll go handle it. So he goes to find where this, some sort of light, some sort of indication where this sun planet is hiding. And he finds that its sun is hiding in this cave, in this mountain, in the mouth of Hanuman. And he's seeing Hanuman, and then Hanuman is jumping around, floating around in the sky, in the space, He just had his big meal. And can't make any sense of this. So Indra's favorite weapon is a thunderbolt. The lightning you hear, the thundering lightning? That's Indra's thunderbolt. The small ones. He has many. So he takes one of his thunderbolts and he strikes this monkey, strikes Hanuman. And Hanuman is so fast. The thunderbolt is also fast, but Hanuman is even faster. So it just scrapes the chin of Hanuman. That's why Hanuman has a little split in his chin. That's why he's called Hanuman. Hanu means chin. And so because he has a little dent in his chin, he is called Hanuman. Because he was not born with that name Hanuman. His name, when he was born, his name is Sundar. Sundar means beautiful. His mother called him Sundar because he was very beautiful. So he got this name Hanuman. And as this boy Hanuman, being hit on the chin, became a little unconscious. And he started to fall to the ground. But Hanuman's father is the wind god, the god of wind. Pavan is called Pavan, P-A-V-A-N. Pavan is the name of his father. That's why he's called Pavanaputra or Pavanasuta, the son of the wind god. So the wind god immediately caught Hanuman as he was falling to the ground. And he brought him to the cave of his mother and father. But what happened is that the world was dark. And the wind god got extremely, extremely disturbed that his child, Hanuman, was injured and was unconscious. So out of anger that someone hurt his child, we give you his birth from his material mother, but he also has spiritual parents, and wind god is his spiritual father. So this wind god, he was so upset that he just started to empty the whole world of all the air. Imagine the 14 planetary systems. He's like, you know what? I'm going to suffocate everybody. Whoever did this to my son, they are going to pay for it. A typical response of a father, right? They're going to pay for it. And so he emptied out all the oxygen in the 14 planetary systems. And then everybody started to suffocate. And they're like, you know, they can only hold their breath for so long. I know that when I was learning to swim, we used to learn to see how long we could hold our breath underwater. And we used to be so afraid, you know, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 1 minute, and you start to panic. So all the demigods, they started to panic. And what happens when they panic? They go to Indra. And Indra knew what he did. So he felt helpless. So he said, let's go to Brahma. Brahma is the four-headed god who is the creator of this universe. So then Brahma said, okay, now that we know what happened, let's go. So Brahma and 33 million demigods. Demigods means semi-gods. They're in charge of big departments in the world. So they all gathered to the place where Hanuman was laying lifeless with the wind god. And so first thing Brahma did is Brahma sprinkled some water from his water pot, and he brought Hanuman back to life. Because this was the plan. The plan is, Brahma suggested that we all go see Hanuman and we give him back his life and we give him all his benedictions and boons so that the wind god will be happy and will again release the oxygen in these 14 planetary systems. So Brahma gives life back to Hanuman and gives him a special benediction. And Brahma gives him the benediction that, my dear Hanuman, you're such a notorious, beautiful child, that I bless you that no one will ever be able to kill you. First blessing. And the second blessing is that I will give you all the knowledge there is to know. So Hanuman, this little baby monkey, is so happy, you know. I got first benediction. And the second benediction was given by the sun god. Sun god, of course, he represents fire, the energy of illumination. And also, he is considered to be one of the most knowledgeable person and one of the predominating deities of knowledge. So he said, Hanuman, I will give you the benediction that you will never be burned by fire. Fire cannot burn you. So Hanuman is like, wow, so cute, second blessing. And whenever you're ready for knowledge, I'll be able to teach you everything you need to know, everything you want to know. Dhanvantari, another demigod of health and well-being, he said, I give you the benediction that you will have the healing touch. That whatever you touch, whoever you touch, they will be healed from all diseases, birth, old age, disease, and death. So he was happy, little baby boy. Vishwakarma is the god of engineering. You have engineers. So he is the deity of engineering. All buildings, all creation in this world, he's the presiding deity. You'll know in India, it's very common. In the factories on Vishwakarma's appearance day, they close down all the factories and they worship him. There is no manufacturing those days. And that is Vishwakarma. He's the deity of intelligence and creativity. And so he blessed him, Hanuman, that you will be the most intelligent being in the whole world, and you will be the most creative person in the whole world. And then Hanuman kept smiling with all this. So all these 33 million demigods, they all give him unique blessings. So he's almost like this God that has the blessings of all powers of 33 million demigods. But he got a special blessing, and that special blessing was that he got a necklace from Brahma. He's a little baby, babies get little necklaces. You give them gold necklaces. So Brahma gave him a diamond necklace. And this diamond necklace, he said, will always remain invisible so no one will steal it from you. But it will only be visible to the person. If anyone sees this diamond necklace, that means he is your Lord and Master. He is the Lord of your heart. You will find the Lord of your heart when he finds you. And he'll be the only one that will be able to see the necklace on your neck. So now imagine, the wind guard is happy, Hanuman is happy, the world is back in order, the wind is blowing, the oxygen is there, and Hanuman now has his newfound powers. And imagine, he's a little restless monkey, but he has all these powers. So what does he do? When you have too much power in the world, what happens? People go for destruction and exploit. What does Hanuman do? He tries to be a little mischievous. He finds the sages in the forest meditating. He leaves them alone. But the minute they go to bathe in the rivers, which is what they do 3 times a day, he takes his breath, goes underwater, and he starts pulling their legs underwater. So he starts to, terrorize the sages. And they cannot find him. They have no idea who he is. And then finally, when the sages come out of the waters to find their clothes, and Hanuman has hidden their clothes behind the tree, so they have to walk around naked. And then Hanuman, little monkey, he would go and they would have long dreads where they would dry their dreads. He would go and pull on their dreads. So in this way, Hanuman was just like, he was having a blast, He has no friends, and he was just like, with all his powers, he was just, causing a lot of mischief with all the sages in the forest. So one day, this little mischievous boy got a little out of hand. The sage is sitting in his cottage early morning. Sages in the morning, what do? They wake up in the morning and they answer nature's call. So this sage comes out of his front door, and right in the front of his door, there is a wild, massive tiger tied to a tree outside of his cottage. And this tiger is roaring at this sage. And this sage, out of fear, cannot come out. Is completely scared. And then sage thinks, okay, I'll just go out the back door. So the sage tries to go out the back door, and he comes out and he notices this massive wild elephant tied to the tree. And the elephant is also making this loud noise and scaring the sage. Now imagine, in the mind of the sage, he's completely freaked out. He can't get out, and he has to answer nature's call. What happens when you have to answer nature's call? It starts to murmur. It starts to tell you, like, hey, you gotta go. And then it starts to tell you, hey, I gotta go to use the answer nature's call. And finally it starts to scream and it starts to shout. So this was the predicament. And as he's going through this agonizing experience, the sage, he notices a little at a distance, this little Hanuman is rolling on his back and laughing and kicking his legs up in the air. Like he's having a blast looking at the expressions of the sage, not being able to use the bathroom. And the sage looks at this monkey and he's disturbed. This is too much. This is too much. This guy needs to be taught a lesson. And the sage knew that Hanuman had all these powers. So the sage cursed Hanuman. He said, I'm going to teach you a lesson. I curse you that you will forget everything that you know. From now onwards, you will not know anything. You will not know any of your powers. You will not have any knowledge. You forget everything. So instantly, Hanuman forgets everything. Very interesting. I just want to digress a little bit. Because stories of Hanuman is supposed to teach us different lessons. So what is the lesson here that Hanuman is teaching us? We learn from this life of Hanuman. The lesson is that we are all given various different gifts. And we are sent into this world with so many gifts. And when these gifts are misused, what happens? You lose it. So in this case, Hanuman, he has all these benedictions, immortal, all these benedictions, and he's misusing it to terrorize the sages. So what happens? The sage just makes sure, puts a little dark glass so he can't see anything. So he no longer is able to remember everything. So it's an important lesson in our lives that we must try to make best use of our intelligence and best use of all the gifts that has been given to us. So continue with the story. A little sideshow, huh? So Hanuman is now walking back home to his cave. Normally, Hanuman never walks back home. He just jumps from tree to tree, mountain peak to mountain peak, and he just, he creates a ruckus. He's a little wild child. But this time he's walking home, and his mother and father notice, Hanuman, what's going on with you? This is not normal. So they're like completely shocked. They try to find out what's going on. And the first thing Hanuman says, Dad, I want to go to school. Because now he doesn't remember anything, right? So he needs some knowledge. He goes, Dad, I want to go to school. So his father said, okay, we'll send you to school. So they're looking for a school for him, his mother and father. And they find that the sun god has the best school in the entire planet. Now again, you have to keep in mind, sun god is always moving. So he has a moving school. Is moving around the planet, right? So he has a moving school and he's in a chariot. The school is in his chariot, and in his chariot he can hold up to 60,000 sages, 60,000 student capacity. That's a pretty big university right there. 60,000 capacity. So they said to Hanuman, let's go. So they went to Sun God and they said, hey, we would like to put Hanuman into your school. And so Sun God said, yeah, but the school is full. There's no vacancies. And Hanuman said, no, 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 I don't need a seat. Don't worry. I can just stand. Then Sun God said, but how are you going to stand? He says, no, no, I'll just stand and I'll learn from you. He says, okay, but how are you going to learn by standing? He said, no, I'll just follow you around. Because he was so determined to gain knowledge. Hanuman was such a knowledge seeker, had such humble attitude. The sun god said, okay, no problems. So as sun god is teaching, Hanuman is in the back. And all of a sudden, Hanuman realizes, oh, there's too much noise. I cannot hear. So what does he do? He comes to the front of the class. And he comes to the front of the class, but there's no seat. So he's going backwards. The sun is moving, right? So he's going backwards. He's moving backwards. So the sun god and all the students, the class can go on, and he's moving backwards as he's learning from the sun god. So his teacher is sun god personified. So in 60 cycles of the sun, he learned everything that the sun god had to teach him. So Hanuman, again, he already knows everything, but is covered, but he's again regaining his knowledge. Keep in mind, okay? So now he's learned everything again from the sun god. So now, as a student, Hanuman knows very well, learned from his parents, that you should never take anything from anyone. If you ever take anything for free, then you have to come back in next life and you have to pay a due debt. You have to pay the dues. You have to pay a debt. So Hanuman approaches sun god and says, my dear guru, my dear teacher, I would like to, give the guru dakshina. I would like to, offer you something. Please give me an instruction. What would you like me to do? Whatever you'd like me to do, I'll follow your instructions. This is the way the students, they pay their teacher's debt. So at that time, sun god said, I'm okay. I don't need anything. But Hanuman said, no, 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 my dear guru, please tell me. I want to pay this debt. You have taught me for so long all this knowledge. And it is my dharma, it is my duty to pay back my tuition to my teacher. Imagine the culture Hanuman had, huh? So Suryadev sun god finally says, okay, what I would like you to do is I would like you to help my son. My son, he lives on the earthly planet and his name is Sugriva. He's the king of the monkeys in one part of the Himalayan mountains, Sugriva. So he says he's the king there, and he's not very bright like you. And he could really help, he could really use your help to have some advice and some good minister like you to rule his kingdom. So you can please serve my son. So Hanuman immediately agreed. Now keep in mind, Hanuman is this celestial being with all his powers, and now he has all this knowledge. And yet, the example of having the highest knowledge is the level of humility that Hanuman shows. He knows Sugriva because they're all in the monkey kingdom, He knows Sugriva, and Sugriva is not a very bright guy. Is not a very respectable guy. But Hanuman, even the more powerful, even the more knowledgeable, even the more respectable than Sugriva, he still takes the position to work under him. Some people have difficulty when they train someone to work under them. And they cannot sleep at night. How can this happen? I trained this person, and how can this person be my boss? How can I take orders from them? But Hanuman here, he's showing an example. What is the example? More powerful, more knowledgeable, more handsome, everything more than Sugriva, yet he takes the humble position. Why? Because Guru's instruction is the most powerful force that we can have. And what is that instruction? Please serve my son. Help my son. And so, this is the principle of spiritual education. See, material education teaches you how to develop caliber. The more caliber you have, the more employable you become. That's the material knowledge. This is what material education teaches you. Hanuman went to a spiritual school, transcendental knowledge. And what do they teach you? They teach you character. And this is the difference. Material education, spiritual education, and Hanuman's education is spiritual education, and he's showing the true character of his spiritual education. So now, let me see time. Oh, time is coming up. So I'm going to rush. I will tell you one more story of Hanuman. There's so much to tell you about Hanuman. Just a few nuggets I'll share about Hanuman. Hanuman, so Ram is exiled to the forest and he's looking for his wife Sita Devi, and he takes counsel from the monkeys, and millions of monkeys, they come into this earth from the heavenly planets to assist Ram. And so Ram is surrounded by monkeys. And now they're at a junction. They know that Rama's wife Sita Devi has been kidnapped and is taken to Lanka, 800 miles across the ocean. And the monkeys are having a discussion who can jump across this ocean to Lanka to rescue Sita Devi and bring her back. And everyone is saying, I can do 200 miles, I can do 1,500 miles. Or I mean, not 1,500 miles, I can do 500 miles, 600 miles, 700 miles. And there is nobody who could jump that far. Monkeys jumping 800 miles is a lot. And so there was this wise bear who was part of the monkey army, and his name was Jambavan. And he started to tell all the monkeys, when I was young, how sometimes when people get old, you may hear me telling you, when I was young, I could do this, I could do that. So when people get old, they tell stories of their younger days. So Jambavan starts to tell all the monkeys the stories of his heroic activities. This bear, starts telling them stories. This massive grizzly bear. When I was young, I could jump this many miles. I could have done this. I could easily cross across this ocean and kidnap and bring Sita back. And then monkeys are like, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. This is what kids do when older people tell them how great they are, So the monkeys were doing this to Jambavan. And then Jambavan realized, he says, I know my real strength is to find the potential in this millions of monkeys that we have gathered here. So he finally looked at Hanuman. He says, Hanuman, I know that you have mystical powers. You have been gifted. And he starts to remind Hanuman of all the gifts that the demigods have given. Now remember, the sage only cursed him that you will forget till someone reminds you of his powers. So all of a sudden, Jambavan reminds Hanuman of all his powers. And then all of a sudden, Hanuman is now like Oh my God, I didn't realize I had all these mystical powers. So what happened? Hanuman was basically encouraged by by Jambavan. Now Jambavan in this Ramayana plays a very important role because Hanuman is the main character. But who sees the potential in Hanuman? Who's the person who's the talent finder here? It's Jambavan. So Jambavan is the real character in Ramayana that finds the true potential, and then whole Ramayana happens. So this is the lesson that we learn from elders, that our goal in life is to find a true leader means you find the potential in others. And this is what Jambavan did. And what is the legacy that Jambavan leaves? Hanuman remembers this, and Hanuman does exactly the same thing as Jambavan does by reminding his brother Bhima in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, in the Mahabharata war. Imagine, thousands of years later, Hanuman is sitting on the flag of Arjuna's chariot and encouraging Bhima. The same thing, reminding him how powerful he is to fight. So this is what spiritual knowledge does. It is about finding potential and the talent in others and encouraging them and empowering them by reminding them of the gifts that has already been given to them. So this is the second lesson we learned from this story of Jambavan and Hanuman. So now I'm going to just tell you Hanuman jumping across to Lanka, because the story of Ramayana is very long. So I'm jumping stories just so that I can tell you more about Hanuman. So Hanuman then jumps up and he turns himself into this massive monkey, towering over the mountains. And he's going to jump over this ocean. He leaps up and he jumps and he starts crossing over this ocean. When he goes over this ocean, he notices the first thing he notices, all of a sudden, from the middle of this ocean, jumps out this massive mountain. The mountain of gold, a shining mountain. This mountain is called Mainaka. Mainaka, as we know, this world, there are so many gold mines. Underneath the oceans, there are also mountains. And so many other creatures that we don't know about, visible and invisible. So this Mainaka mountain comes up and he tells Hanuman that, Hanuman, you cannot cross this ocean without resting on me first. You should rest on me. Just relax and chill, take a break, and then keep going. So now, in this story, I'm going to go backtrack a little bit. Sita Devi, Lord Ramachandra's consort, she represents love. She represents bhakti. And Hanuman represents the seeker of love. And he is seeking out love by jumping and trying to cross this ocean. And this mountain, Mainaka mountain, the first mountain that comes out of this ocean to be an obstacle in his path and asking him to rest and relax, And this mountain represents material comforts. So in our spiritual life, in pursuit of spiritual love, we will notice that we are going to become a little comfortable. We may, slack in our sadhana. Oh, today is a Saturday, no work, so I'll skip my sadhana. Maybe I'll just do, 5 minutes instead of 1 hour. So this, sleep a little bit more, or, binge on more chocolate, all these material comforts we have in life. This is what this mountain represents. So what does Hanuman do? Hanuman does not rest on this mountain. He just touches the mountain with his feet and he takes off. So basically recognizing that there is material comforts in this world, but doesn't get entangled in it. So this is lesson 1 that Hanuman is teaching us in pursuit of Sita Devi, in pursuit of love. The second, as he keeps flying, this massive demoness, she comes out of the waters and she opens her mouth and said, Hanuman, you can't pass me because I will devour you. I am bigger than you. I can eat you. And Hanuman is thinking, oh my God, what do I do? So Hanuman, he notices this massive demoness, and Hanuman becomes as big as this demoness. So then, do you say demoness? Is that the right word? She demon. She demon, okay? We'll call it she demon. So the she demon notices that Hanuman became as big as her mouth. So then she opened her mouth even bigger. Then Hanuman thinking, okay, she's making her mouth bigger, then I will also become bigger. So Hanuman becomes even bigger. And then she opens her mouth more big. Hanuman becomes bigger. So this thing keeps going on, and finally she reaches, her mouth reaches the sky, and no more limit. And Hanuman immediately becomes a small little monkey, enters her mouth, and comes out and keeps flying. So the she demon is called Surasa, and she represents the competitive mentality that we have. So this competitive mentality is such a dangerous principle in life. Mature world is running on competition and comparisons. And in spiritual life, if we bring that same thing, competing and comparing, then we will get devoured by this emotion of competition and comparison. And so what does Hanuman do? Takes the humble position, becomes tiny, and acknowledging the nature of competition, and he goes into her mouth and comes out, and he keeps flying. So again, the principle is competition is where you lose, it makes you lose the focus in your spiritual pursuit. And Hanuman had one goal in life, to find the object of his love. And so, not distracted. Then he keeps flying, and all of a sudden, another big she demon comes out of this ocean. And this demon is called Simhaka. And this demon is very interesting, because this demon said that I'm going to eat you, and without any warning, this demon opens her mouth and swallows Hanuman and puts Hanuman into her belly. And what does Hanuman do? Hanuman just crashes open her belly, cuts open through her belly, and comes out and keeps going on this journey. Because there was no way out. So Hanuman had to go in and come out. And this she demon represents envy. Envy is a quality that has no place in spiritual life. It is one quality, it's the only quality that has no place in spiritual life. If there is envy in you, you will never, ever, ever be able to attain spiritual love. So you have to be devoid of envy. And how do we deal with envy? Hanuman is showing you have to destroy envy. And the way to destroy envy is being focused on the very goal, on the very dharma, on the very duty that is to pursue this transcendental love. Let me see time. Oh, I have 2 minutes. Okay, rushing through. So Hanuman keeps going, keeps floating to go to Lanka, and finally Hanuman makes it to Lanka. And Lanka is a fortress. of Ravana. You cannot enter. And notices there is no way he can go in. So what does Hanuman do? Hanuman disguises himself as a cat. Incognito. He turns himself into a cat. You know, cats are like really sneaky. When they walk around, you won't feel anything, you won't notice anything. They're so sneaky, you know. Stealth. So Hanuman sneaks in to this to Lanka. As soon as he sneaks into Lanka, this this she demon comes out, and Hanuman sees this she demon, and because he's recognized, she recognized him, you know. And Hanuman takes his form and he just slaps her in the face. It's not very nice to slap a she demon, you know. So Hanuman slaps the she demon, and the she demon becomes unconscious. And then a little while later, the she demon, after being unconscious, becomes conscious again and tells Hanuman, okay, okay, you can go now. So she basically just needed one slap to be woken up, and Hanuman was allowed entry into Lanka. So what does this she demon represent? This she demon represents attachments. She represents attachments. All of us in this mature world have some attachment to something. And it's very difficult to get rid of attachment. And the only way to get rid of this attachment is when you're slapped in the face. By who? By material energy. If you do not recognize that pursuing material attachments, you're going to get slapped in the face and you're going to be on your knees, and being on your knees means you're supposed to surrender and give up those attachments. And you get up again, you're going to slap again. The more you try to get up, the more you're going to get slapped. So this is what attachment is. So in this example, it explains that we should always take the association of other saintly people. Sangha. Why there is Sangha? Because whenever you attend the Sangha, you learn something. You learn something more so that you can become more and more detached from material possessions and material life. And that is why Sangha is so important. And this is the lesson, that whatever we're doing, we must always remain connected to Sangha. Because it is only through the Sangha your ego will get slapped and you'll be able to give up material attachments. Because it gets you thinking. It gets you thinking deeper about the purpose of life. And only then will you be able to give up attachments, and then you'll be able to enter into the realm of love, where Sita Devi is situated. Ramayana is a massive story, it's a big story, and it's Hanuman is teaching so many beautiful things, so many beautiful things. You know, I'll just give you two things of Hanuman before we end, because Hanuman represents service. Two things. You'll notice Hanuman wears this chandan, you know, it's a little pinkish color. You may be wondering why Hanuman is always covered in that. If you go to India, you will see that. You know, all the details of Hanuman are covered in this pinkish color. It looks like the dot. The story behind it is Hanuman one day was noticing that Ram loves Sita Devi so much. And Ram looks at her forehead, at this beautiful dot that Sita Devi has on her forehead. And that dot is the kumkum, is the sindur. And that represents, she explained to him that when I wear this, this represents that Ram is my everything. That Ram is the Lord of my life. This is what this dot represents on the forehead. So Hanuman, when Sita Devi explained that to Hanuman, Hanuman was super excited. Wow! So what does he do? He goes out to the market and he finds this color of the sindur. and he covers it throughout his whole body. And he starts dancing and chanting Ram Ram, and Hanuman starts dancing and chanting Ram Ram, covered in this kumkum. And all the residents of Ayodhya, they start to also chant and dance with him, and they're so happy to see Hanuman. And Hanuman, seeing their joy, because he was covered in the love of Ram, so Hanuman became even more encouraged. So he kept dancing and he came all the way to Ram, and he was dancing in front of Ram, chanting Ram, 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 covered in this sindur. And Ram said, Hanuman, what did you do? And Hanuman explained, my dear Ram, Sita Devi told me that whoever wears that, that means that you are their life and soul. So you're my life and soul. And Ram started to laugh so hard because he was just so touched by the innocence and the simplicity of love and devotion of Hanuman. So that is why you will notice Hanuman has a very unique color, and those who worship Hanuman, they wear that sindur on their forehead. Okay, my time is up. I wanted to tell you so many more stories of Hanuman because I'm like super charged up. He's one of my favorite characters. I worship him every day, you know. So I will leave you with the thought that today is the appearance day of Lord Ram, and wherever there is Ram, there is Hanuman, and wherever there is Hanuman, there is Ram. They're inseparable. And Hanuman, because he was embraced by Lord Ram, he felt that his body, imagine that colored body of his, colored in kumkum, he felt that my body is now purified, so there is no point in dying. So Hanuman decided and he exclaimed to the whole world, so now that this body is purified, I declare that I will never die. This body will never perish. So it is explained in the Shastras that to this day, Hanuman is living in the Himalayan mountains waiting for Lord Ram to come back. So this is a little story of Hanuman. And I wanted to share this with all of you because today is Lord Ram's birthday. And Hanuman is the greatest devotee of Lord Ram because he's just always in the playful mood of innocence and service to Lord Ram. And he represents unconditional loving service. So on this day, I urge you to meditate on this principle of service, on the principle of innocence, playfulness of life, and always to chant the name of Ram because you will be free from death, you will reach enlightenment, you will attain the highest spiritual position in the world. So thank you very much.
Jai Shri Ram. Thank you,
Jai
Babu.
Shri
Thank you very
Ram.
much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any announcements before we end this call?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Does the Maha Mantra count as chanting Ram because it has Ram in it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Why do you think we chanted? Ram, Ram, Ram. Any other questions, comments? Okay. Any announcements, Keshavi or Nitai?
Nothing new.
Okay. So should we tell stories from next class, or because I wanted to start telling a Ramayan stories and reading the Ramayana and telling a Ramayan story. So we'll sequentially go. I don't know how much you all like Ramayan. There's so many different versions of Ramayan, and it's so beautiful. Okay, I guess no answers. No answers means we'll just keep mixing things up.
We got some thumbs up.
Okay. Okay, thank you all so much. It's such a important day for me. We'll be doing kirtans, and we have chitta cleanse in half an hour, and then we have kirtans. And I recommend all of you, please take some time today to please chant extra japa, extra mantra, extra heart space meditation. If you don't have the mantra, if you don't know the full thing, just sit and chant Ram, 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 Ram. Just chant and see what happens. Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much. Thank you all very much. Namaste, beautiful souls. And those of you who joined later, I didn't get to recognize you. I want to let you know that we love your presence and we appreciate you very much. And we hope to see you all again next Saturday.
I love you, Guru Veda.
Thank you. I love you too.
Haribo, love you.
Ram Ram.
And please continue.
Ram, 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 Ram.